Yo, welcome to my guide. In this video, I'll teach you guys how to become expert Chaos Elemental killers. Chaos Elemental is a boss found roaming the Rogue's Castle in level 50 Wilderness. The Chaos Elemental boasts one of RuneScape's easiest pet drop rates, standing at a wonderfully low 1 in 300 chance. Besides the pet, is there even a point to killing this outdated monster? Let's take a look. So, is it worth killing? On the screen is the loot I got from about 190 kills. It drops a lot of blood, death and chaos runes, mithril darts, weapon poison plus pluses, and a lot of dragon daggers. It is also arguably the easiest boss to get the D pickaxe from in terms of supplies and time. So, if I got your attention, let me show you how to kill this tentacle monster. The Chaos Elemental is level 305 with a decent 250 HP. It hits up to 28 with all 3 combat styles, so you're better off wearing some decent melee armor and praying against magic. Since the Ely is in level 50 plus multi-combat wildy, you shouldn't bring more than 3 or 4 valuable items. Because you will be constantly praying, a great choice of armor to wear is Prosy armor, since it's great for the prayer bonus and easily replaceable, so you can use your offensive items to be saved on death for stuff like an Amulet of Fury or some RFD gloves. I use the Arty cape because it's free to replace and boasts a useful prayer bonus as well as magic defense for ice attacks that players use to try to kill you. There's a lot of choices to use for the weapons. If you choose to go the range methods, switch out the armor with the highest tier D hide you can wear. The Twisted Bow and the Toxic Blowpipe are pretty much S tier in terms of DPS on the Chaos Elemental, but keep in mind that it can't be venomed. So if you would happen to venom it, usually it would just be converted to poison. Having the ammo stored inside the blowpipe makes it a great weapon to use in the wildy since you don't lose its ammo on death. Crossbow is also a very good choice seeing as it's a boss in the wilderness. However, you can't poison it since it fires its own arrows. Another great alternative would be to use a good crossbow. Rune or above using Diamond Bolts E, which have an 11% chance to ignore all the monster's defense and increases your max hit by 15%. If you do choose to go with the crossbow, I suggest you bring no more than 100 bolts a trip. You could also decide to use an Ava's device, such as an accumulator or assembler, to help mitigate some of the loss from using Diamond Bolts E. Currently, they're about 300 gold each per shot. Oh, and one more thing. Having a Ring of Recoil or Ring of Suffering helps a lot with Chaos Ely, because it does do a lot of damage no matter what you wear. If you decide on meleeing the Ely, I recommend an Abyssal Whip or higher, and a Dragon Defender. Also, if your defense is under 80, I recommend using an Obby Shield instead, as the range defense is much higher. Now that we're done gearing up, let's talk about the inventory. Your inventory should consist of a superset, consisting of super attack, strength, defense, or a range potion and a super defense if you opt to go the range method, as well as 2 to 3 prayer potions, and a source of teleportation. I'll talk about that later. And the rest, mid to high tier food. I recommend Karambuan or at least swordfish. You need a way of teleporting there. So the easiest one would be Anakarl. You need level 90 and Desert Treasure to be able to use this teleport. If you don't have this, you can just buy the Teletab, which is around 2.5k in the GE. If you don't have that, another method would be to use the Games Necklace teleport to go to the Corporeal Beast dungeon, then leaving it, running a bit southeast to this obelisk, keep using that until you get to the level 50 obelisk, then run west, and it should be somewhere around here. So without further ado, let's go. One tip to do is, if you're using the rune method like me instead of the Teletab, pick up one of the burnt bone spawns on the ground so you only have one empty inventory spot. This will help later with its disarming attack. So just keep running northwest. Pot up. Once you enter the gate, run east and get ready for the fight. So now that we're here, let me walk you through a kill. Once you found it, you start off the fight by turning on Protect Magic, Protect Item, and the offensive prayer of your choice. If you're meleeing it, use Piety or the like. If you're ranging, use Eagle Eye or Rigor. He likes to teleport you around, so keep your run energy on. It's a pretty straightforward fight. The only thing you have to watch out for is his green anti-close beam he likes to shoot out once in a while. This is easily circumventable by just spamming your empty inventory slot. Keep your eye out for any stray white dots on the minimap, and you should be fine. Let's speed up a bit to the end of the kill. Hooray, it's dead. Now, because of its rather long respawn time of 2 minutes and 25 seconds, you want to find another world and just keep alternating between the one you're at and the one you hop to. With relatively high combat stats, you should be able to seamlessly transition between worlds without waiting too long. Once you're done with your trip, you can leave the wilderness by running west, slashing the web on the north side, and using the lever to go back to a town. That's the end of my guide. Best of luck out there, and remember, don't get smited.